Hi everybody, it's the ATX Mom. Today we are going to make a super fun craft that will last us all week, and this is homemade flubber. So it's almost like the slimy stuff you used to get when you were a kid out of the gumbo machine, but it's a little bit like silly putty, it's a little bit like Play-Doh, it's a lot of fun. And the only ingredients you need are glue. I like the Elmer's school glue in these little bottles because they're super cheap. Around back to school time, I think I found these for like 25 cents. You need some liquid starch, and liquid starch is something that you find in the regular laundry aisle. I think I found this at Walmart. And you need some just regular food coloring. And you need a measuring cup for 1/2 of a cup, and you need some sort of container to mix in. So what we're going to do to start, we're going to put this entire bottle of glue, which is about 1/2 cup of glue, this is 4-ounce bottle, into our container, and we're going to use a spoon to stir in whatever color we want our flubber to be today. I made green flubber last time I made this for my son, so I promised him I would make blue this time. So I'm going to make some blue. So I'm going to do maybe 10 drops of food coloring with this entire bottle of school glue, and I'm going to stir it up in this bowl until we have blue glue. And then I'll come back and show you that. Okay, so here we have our blue glue. And you can use any color, food coloring you want. It won't affect the end product at all, whatever color you like. Now we're going to take 1/2 cup of liquid starch. So it's just equal measurements, 1/2 cup of glue, 1/2 cup of liquid starch. So if you want to make a bigger batch or a smaller batch, you can adjust accordingly. And we're going to pour it in kind of small little increments, and we're going to start mixing it in. What you'll find is the more you mix it, the more it will start to turn kind of goopy like this. It starts to kind of look like something from a horror movie, I think, from a zombie movie. And we're just going to keep on adding in the liquid starch a little bit at a time till we have it all in. And we're going to keep stirring it around.
Okay, put this in.
Well, we already put that in, honey. And then we're going to get to the point where you're not going to be able to stir it with a spoon anymore. You're going to have to get your hands involved and start squishing it and kneading it almost like dough. So I'm going to keep stirring this, and I will come back and show you what it looks like in the next step. Okay, we've incorporated all of our liquid starch, and you will see that this looks pretty awful. It looks really gloopy and stringy. And the first time I made it, I was convinced it was never, ever going to come together. And I thought, I must have done something wrong. You just have to have faith that it will all come together. So you got to get your hands in there and really squish it. It feels super gross. This is actually a really fun, gross project to get your kids involved in because they love squishing it in their fingers. So again, you just have to be patient and know that the more you work it, the more it comes together. And after a few minutes, it will start to solidify, I promise. So I'm going to work on this because right now it looks pretty disgusting, and I'll come back and show you when it's ready. Okay, here we are about 2 minutes into kneading. You'll see it's starting to come together, but it's still pretty stringy, almost like yarn. I just want to show you the different stages so that as you're working on your own, that you don't get discouraged or think that you've done something wrong. This is kind of the process that it goes through as it starts to change from its liquid state into a solid state. The thing I really love about this recipe as well is I found a lot of recipes for gack or flubber or things like that that require borax. And borax is a really, really highly poisonous chemical. If you make it in, say, a measuring cup, you have to throw that measuring cup away. You can never use it for food again. So it's never something I want to give to my little ones for fear that they, I wouldn't want my son to eat it or get it on his fingers and accidentally eat it. So I felt much better about this recipe with the liquid starch. It's still not something I want him to eat, but it's not something that is so toxic. So I'm going to keep on working on this. I'll come back and show you kind of the next stage when it starts to come together. Gross. Okay, I've been kneading this for a few minutes. You can see we're starting to get there. It's still a little bit stringy, but it's starting to solidify. You just have to keep kneading it, smoothing it over, almost like you would a loaf of dough, or if you're making a loaf of bread, some bread dough. So again, just want to show you the steps along the way and what it looks like. We're pretty close here. Let me finish kneading it, and I'll come back. Okay, our patience has paid off. We did not give up, and here it is, our flubber. You will know that it's done when it starts to come together with kind of a smooth surface. It's going to feel very rubbery. It will not feel sticky. It's done. It's not sticky, so if it sticks to your fingers or leaves residue on your fingers, here comes a little hand after it, then you know that you need more starch. If it's too sticky and sticks to your hands, you need to add a little bit more starch. You need that squishy stuff? Go ahead, you pull. You take it in. Pull. Pull real hard. Pull. It's stretchy. It's bouncy. You sure can, buddy. Go ahead. Go ahead. There we go. It is, you can roll it out and use cookie cutters to make shapes out of it. You can stretch it till it almost looks like slime. It's all stringy. There's so many fun things you can do with it. Another thing I wanted to show you is these tiny little Ziploc containers. We usually use them for pudding or for snacks. Make the perfect size container for your Flubber. This one is the green one that I made. I made this a week ago, so I'm going to show you how it holds up. It's got a little bit of moisture on it. It's actually been sitting on my windowsill. But what I found is it starts to get really sticky. So if you leave it for a day or two and then you come back to it, this one's especially stringy, it'll get kind of sticky and stick to your fingers. And if that happens, you just add a little splash of liquid starch. It's going to take it back to that ball of rubber band stage, and you're going to have to re-knead it. But it holds up really well. This one's a week old, and it's still really squishy, really fun and rubbery. Here comes a hand. That's right. There comes a hand for the green squishy stuff. And Mommy's going to play with the blue squishy stuff. We're going to go have some fun with our homemade Flubber. One warning I will leave you with, this stuff will stick to fabric, it will stick to carpet, and it will stain. So just be careful with it. Use it like you would Play-Doh. Just be careful where you have it and what it touches. But hope you guys have fun with your Flubber.